Hi, this is Jamie from In the Woods Homestead, and this is our very first video with our dog obedience series. Today I'm going to introduce myself, tell you a little bit about my history in dog training, and mention a few people that I wanted to mention before I did the video. And we're going to go over a few different things like behavior issues as jumping, chewing, nipping, barking, digging, all those fun things that dogs tend to do, and it's not our favorite thing to have to work on. Today we'll also go over sit and how to teach them how to watch you. I know that sounds silly to just watch you, but that is the most important command you can teach them, hands down. Okay, so here we go. So my name is Jamie Dixon. I've been dog training for about 12 years. I started at PetSmart, which is awesome. I never thought I'd be a dog trainer, but it just happened to be. They took a very shy person and said, "We think you should teach people how to train their dogs." And I said, okay. And so I did, and I ended up loving it. It is probably one of my favorite things to do. Ozark, come here, Bubba. Sit. I know. Sit down. Okay. So I started there. It took me a whole 2 weeks to learn something about dog training. So when people tell you that, they're the best dog trainer, or when they tell you that they're the best around, or anything like that, if they really build themselves up, please question that dog trainer, because dog training is not rocket science. Okay, dog training is easy. It's easier than we honestly expect it to be. We sometimes just have to simplify our thinking to be like theirs. This is Ozark. He's a Sarplaninac and Anatolian Shepherd mix. He's a little defective. He has a funny tail. He does not have the normal tail like both of these breeds. But he's a very big boy. He's just about a year old and is still learning his refining his training skills. So he's going to be doing a lot of this stuff with you guys and learning and being a cutie patootie. I know Bubba. He's been hanging out with me probably the last 2 weeks, just building a bond with me. So we've had a fun time, huh, Ozark? Okay, you're just going to get right in the way. Okay, so after I worked for PetSmart for about 5 years, I decided to I decided to do it on my own, and I called that Rocksteady Approved Dog Obedience, or Canine Obedience. And he doesn't know who Rocksteady was, but Rocksteady was a American Pit Bull Terrier that I had semi-rescued and as a puppy, and was absolutely the best dog I've ever had. Okay, sorry about that. I get a little emotional about him. He passed away a couple years ago, and okay. Anyway, I've decided to start again, but right now there is COVID-19 and the coronavirus, and it's kind of hard and difficult to get out to people's houses and do training. And honestly, it's so easy. Sometimes I feel bad for getting paid for it. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little background. If you've ever done the Rocksteady approved training, say so down in the comments, because I miss that so much. I miss the hiking. I miss the trainings. I miss them all the time. So the people that I wanted to mention are my co-worker's relative. Come here, Bubba. just wants loving. Hold on. So, sorry about that. So the people I wanted to mention are Jax and his Australian Shepherd Belle. She's 3 months old and really kind of jump-started my inspiration to go ahead and do these. I'm really excited about it. And then Eddie at Little Acre Farm. I'm not sure what kind of puppy he is yet because I'm kind of doing this as I go. And they said he's a new puppy too. So I'm really excited that they get to do this along with Ozark. And good luck. Okay, so one of my #1 behavior issues is jumping. And whenever you have a dog that jumps on you, most people do one of two things. They do this, oh, okay. Alright, so whenever a dog will jump, come on, Bubba, jump, come on. Say if he's jumping on you like this, most people will turn away. That is okay, but there's a reason that that doesn't work, and I will explain that in a few minutes. So now he is trying to jump on me, but I'm not moving away from him. This time I'm actually going to move towards him. The reason you move towards them is because when dogs do this thing called an alpha roll, or if anybody knows a thing called alpha in a pack mentality, that means they are the top dog. So if you turn around like this, you look like you're rolling over. And when a dog is doing a alpha roll, the submissive one is the one that's rolling over on the ground. The alpha is the one that is on top of them. So if Ozark was coming at me, I'm gonna have to tell him to do it because he knows better. Come on. Come on, Bubba. Come on, Bubba. I'll just show you. Oh, now you're gonna do it? Okay, come on. Come on. No? Okay. I won't pay attention to him. Okay, so if you walk towards him, he's gonna fall over or he'll start to move around. If you have a very persistent dog, Ozark's not very persistent when it comes to jumping because he's a large dog. It takes more energy for him to jump than it does to just sit down and wait. I'm kind of lucky on that part. So when you have a lighter dog that wants to be on you at all times and is always jumping on you, if you'll actually follow them around until they sit down or until they give up. Once they give up, praise them and love on them and teach, you can give them cookies if you want to. Ozark's a cookie monster. But it doesn't always have to be a treat. Great if you can. If you have a stubborn dog, it's awesome. But if it's not, it's okay. You can give them lovins if that's something that they are, if they take well to. So remember, walk towards your dog. Do not turn around. Do not put your knee up. Most people will put their knee up. That actually will damage the front part of their chest here if you keep doing that. So do not do that. It could hurt their lungs. Just walk towards them. They may even dance with you for a little while. That is okay. They will not be able to do that for very long. You just have to be a little bit more patient than they are. Okay. #2 behavior issue. Chewing. Ozark right now is going through his second stage of chewing. Dogs will go through their first one between 3 months to 6 months, maybe 4. And then they go through their second one from between 6 months and a year. So they're basically chewing the whole time. You'll get a little bit where they're not doing it as bad, but their first set is their teeth coming in and they're being able to chew hard food and just start to use them and get that feeling. And then their second one is them getting their back molars in, and that's where they really focus on chewing stuff that's like harder, and they usually will put it back towards the back of their teeth. The best thing you can do for a dog is the same thing that you would do for a baby. When a baby is teething, you're going to use something that's cold, because it's going to numb their gums so they don't feel the pain that's coming from their tooth pushing through their gums. So the best thing to do is get you like a rope or a sock. If you want to be cheap like I do, I grabbed one of Sean's old socks the other day and tied it up. It smells like us, and dogs love that kind of thing. I know it sounds gross, but they do. I just soaked it in water, popped it in the freezer, and that's what he chews on. Bones. Please stay away from rawhide. There's so many dogs that I've seen go through the veterinary service we had at the PetSmart because of rawhide. I'm sorry, I'll probably never get monetized for this because companies sell rawhides, but I don't believe that they're okay to give to them. Best thing you can do for your dog, Ozark, leave that kitty alone. The cats don't understand he's a big baby. But we might get to see some action today. If we do, I'll have to Are you a big weenie? You're a big weenie. Okay. He's sad, so he was being good. Chewing, keep rawhides away. If you're gonna do something for them to chew on, do a like a bully stick, or try to stay away from cooked bones as well, because cooked bones can splinter and it can puncture their stomach lining and their intestines, and that's also another big vet bill. I'm going to tell you all these things because I worked in this business for 5 years, and it stuck with me for 12 years, and it made it a big thing for me to explain that to other people. They do make a really cool toy that's called a Kong toy. You can get some cheap versions at Walmart. It's awesome. All it is a big rubber ball that looks like 3 balls pushed together, and it's hollow on the inside. And on the inside you can put anything from peanut butter, you can freeze chicken broth, you can freeze their dog food in there. Whatever you want to do, it'll keep them busy. And the ice cold will numb their gums. Let's see, also with chewing, if you have a chewer that's going for things, do not give them shoes to chew on. Do not give them any of your, anything that you don't want them to chew on later. Do not give it to them. The socks, I really don't care. I don't really wear socks. Sean wears socks, but I don't. So I don't really care. To me, those are chew toys. Huh. What are socks for anyway? Besides wintertime. Wintertime socks are useful. Anyway, but if you do have an avid chewer and they just will not stop going for something in particular, like a chair leg or something like that, you can use something that's called bitter apple. It is just a bitter taste, and they tend not to go back to it if they keep getting that taste in their mouth. It's used for when they have hot spots on their skin to keep them from chewing on their own skin, so it's going to be okay for them to ingest. And just make sure that it's going to be okay on your furniture. Don't put it on anything too fancy. That, or you can use thyme oil. Like if you were to get some thyme out of the garden, you can use that as well. Our number 3 behavior issue is nipping. Whenever they are nipping on you, they are learning how to play with you and what you are going to allow them to do. So if you are playing rough with them and it is okay for them to put their teeth on your skin, then they're going to think it's okay to do that. And you have to either teach them what's too far is too far, or if it's okay what they're doing. I've always taught my dogs not to nip at all. Having a pit bull terrier, that's not something I ever wanted to chance. He was a dog that was in public, and there were always little kids that didn't understand that rule, and there's just no way I would let that happen. But the way you teach them is not to not play with them that way. It's to play with them in the same manner, but it's how you react whenever they nip you too hard or if they put teeth on you. So if Ozark was putting teeth on me, all I would do, the best thing to do is find a area that they can be contained or you can get away from them. Come here, Bubba. So if me and Ozark were playing, come on, Ozark, come on. Who's gonna play? Who's gonna play? Who's gonna play? Huh? So if I'm playing with him and as soon as his teeth touch my skin, all I'm gonna do is go away from him, stop playing completely, do not react to him, and he doesn't get any attention for it. He doesn't get any attention whatsoever for nipping. He doesn't get bad attention. He doesn't get good attention. The only thing he gets is to sit all by himself and not play. Unless he's playing all by himself. What they do in order to teach each other when dogs are playing how much pressure they can put on their skin, they will yelp. You don't have to yelp. You just walk away. I have always tried to explain to people that the more noises you make, the less focused your dog is going to be. He's going to be more focused on the noises that you're making than what you're actually trying to do and trying to make them understand. If I were to poke somebody just over and over and over and over again, just to get a reaction, do you think that giving them a reaction is the best thing to do? No, it's not. If they realize after 10 minutes of poking you, nothing happens, they will stop poking because nothing is happening. It is not, it's anticlimactic. So, that is the way you teach a dog not to nip on you. Okay, so number 5 behavior issue is barking. I don't know about you, but if I live in a neighborhood with dogs, all you hear is barking. Actually, right now, we live in the middle of the woods, and all we hear is barking. The reason dogs bark is that's how they communicate. That is how they communicate. With that and their bodies. They will teach you about body language. If you can watch them, that's all you need to know is to watch their body behavior. So, say if they are barking at something and you want them to stop barking at it. Take what they're barking at out of the picture. When I say that, I mean that literally, out of the picture. If that means moving your dog around. So if they're prone to barking when the mailman comes, do you know why they bark at the mailman? It's because mailman comes up, gives you the mail, they bark, the mailman goes away. He thinks that he's done exactly what was needed to be done. There was an intruder, he scared them away, and they left, and he saved the day. Your house was not robbed. So, when you get onto your dog for barking at the mailman, you're actually teaching him not to protect your home, in a sense. So, if you don't want them barking at the mailman, then maybe whenever the mailman comes, don't have your dog near where the mailman's gonna be coming up to, or distract them. One of the best things to do to get your dog not to do bad things is to make them do a good thing while they would have normally been doing a bad thing. Like, say if the mailman's coming, that's your time to start working with your dog. Our mailman comes around 1:30 every day. The time that I bring Ozark out here to work is about 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock to 1:30. That means he's had a good 45 minutes of me working with him. When the mailman comes, it's no big deal because he's too tired to even care. Also, they're going to be distracted. They're going to be looking at you, and they're not looking at the door. So if you're okay with it, they're going to be okay with it. Right? But if we're upset about it, they're going to be upset about it. They watch our body language, and they mimic our body language, and we do the same to them. And that's what I'm trying to explain about having a bond with your dog. That's the bond. That right there. It's them watching you and you watching them. Do you want this cookie? Okay. Also, number 6 thing is digging. Digging is a funny thing. Dogs dig for a few different reasons. They dig for boredom. They dig for like gophers and things like that. They also dig to get cool during the summertime when it's too hot. The reason they dig is that first couple layers underneath the dirt is going to be a lot cooler than the top layer. That's why we used to have our refrigerators basically that way. You would dig a hole in the ground, you put your food there, and it stays a little fresher for longer. Dogs are a lot smarter than we give them a little bit credit for. That's why they bury their food, is because it's cooler under there and it'll stay better longer. And then they want to dig to get out of things. Okay, I'm going to get real close to you guys because this is going to be a little weird. The secret to keep them from digging is their arch enemy, poop. So, if you put poop in the holes where they're digging, as soon as they get their little grubby paws to start digging, they get poop on them. And they don't want poop underneath their fingernails. Just like we wouldn't want poop on our hands, they don't want poop on their paws. So if they're digging and they're creating potholes all over your yard, get rid of all that waste, put it back into the ground. If they try to dig there again, they're most likely not going to after they've done it once or twice. If they do, you have a digging problem. Somebody's got an issue. If they're digging to get cool, you can put a pool. They also make a mesh hammock for dogs that has a little. If you get it wet, the air will pass through it and it'll actually cool your dog off. It's good for like huskies and thick-haired breeds in the summertime. It'll be really, you'll see a major difference in it. If they're digging to get out, again, poo. It sounds gross. It does work though. If they dig through the poo and they're digging, just burying toys and burying things, they just really love to bury toys and food. Your best option, maybe give them a sandbox. If you don't have cats. If you have cats, they may poop in it. But if you give them a spot that you go out there and you can say bury like a rope halfway in the ground. It'll give them something to do and kind of divert all that digging energy away from your fence line and away from the gate to an area that they can dig and that they have fun digging because they find other cool surprises in the dirt. And then they can just bury it there, hopefully. Also, keep your dogs busy. working with them every day will actually make it a lot better. Your dog won't do as many bad things. So basically your dogs won't do as many bad things if they are too tired to do them. Alright, so we're going to learn two things today. We're going to learn how to do a watch me and a sit. Watch me is the first command. You want to get a cookie? I usually use something small. You can use dog food, you can use cheese, you can use all kinds of different things. I probably wouldn't use a whole lot of cheese though. Cheese, hot dogs, they love those things. All you're doing is getting your dog to look at you when you say so. Easy. Very easy, but the most important thing you can teach your dog is to look at you, to pay attention to you. Because if they are not paying attention to you, who are they paying attention to? What are they paying attention to? You wonder why they don't listen? They're not paying attention to you. Okay, so all you're going to do is take the treat. I'm going to pretend that you are the dog. And you're going to go like this. You're going to show them the treat. You're going to pull it up here. And you're going to get them to look at you. And it's really hard to look at myself in the eye, but as soon as you make eye contact, you give them the cookie. And you tell them, good boy, good girl, or whatever you want to say. So, all you're doing is pretending, or not pretending, but practicing staring at each other for longer periods of time. That is it. Okay? So, Ozark, watch me. As soon as he looks at me, he gets the cookie. Okay, good boy. Now, one thing he may do or may not do is when I move my hand, he may look at my hand instead of looking at me. Okay, watch me. As soon as he looks at me, he gets the cookie. You are the only one that's going to know what he is doing. If he is looking over here, or looking over here, or looking straight at you. If he's looking at the cookie, don't give it to him. But if he makes eye contact with you first, then give it to him. He's going to understand that as soon as he looks at you, he gets treated for it. And that's a good thing. Huh, Ozark. Watch me. I didn't drop it. Here, let's move over here a little bit further. Come here. Watch me. Over here. Over here. Okay, good boy. Alright. Number 2 thing that we're going to do today is learn how to teach them how to sit. It's very, very easy. Your hand signal is going to be like this. And one reason we do hand signals is because dogs understand, they communicate by their body language. So we need to communicate with them by body language most of the time. Okay? So you're going to put your cookie on that side of your hand. Alright? And you're going to let them know that you have it. Come here, Bubba. You got to get over here where they can see it. And all you're going to do is you're going to go over their head with it. But don't let them see the cookie, because if they know that you have one, if you don't have one, they're not going to do it. So they don't need to see it, right? Gentle. Okay. So let them know you have it. Over their head. As soon as they sit their butt down, okay, and then give it to them. And you want to give a release word, because later on when we teach like stay and come and wait, they need a release word so they understand that they are finished doing that command that you've asked them to do. Dogs want to make you happy. They want to be able to please you. That's why they have been our pets for so long. So to end the video today, basically I want you guys to practice watch me and sit. Ready? You want to do it, Bubba? Watch me and sit. He's learned this one. He's getting to be a pro, huh? Watch me. Good boy. Okay, so next week what we're going to be working on is leash training and lay down. So make sure you like and subscribe so that way you'll get a notification when we put out our next video. And if you have any questions or comments, put them down below. And tell everybody about it because it's free. I'm doing this for free because I love doggies, and why not? I'm going to get old one day and I'll forget it all. So good luck. Let me know how they're doing. Bye.